What up, guys? It's Bill Mod 682. This is waiting in line to get my car washed. I like to do the wash myself. Um, this way, I have enough uh, scratches on my truck here, uh, so that's why I like to do it myself. Not that this place is much better. Uh, the reason I'm making this video is because I got other shit to talk about besides the degenerate William Worthington. I got other things to talk about. And one of the people did say to me, "Hey, don't you have anything else that you care about other than Willie?" And I do. it's I actually have a lot to say. As far as the rioting goes, and the tearing down of statues and the Confederate flag and a lot of other issues. I mean, I'm not going to be able to cover them all in this video. It's just not going to happen. But the rioting, I think, is just gotten way out of hand, gone way too far. Um, is it a shame what happened to that guy George Floyd? Absolutely. There's no place for it. There's no reason that cop had to be on that guy's neck for 9 minutes. That's not what they're taught at the academy. I know several officers. Okay, and I've talked with them about this, and they've said it too. They've said there's no reason that cop should have done that. And they knew as soon as that footage was aired that it was going to be bad for everybody. Everybody. But like my one friend said, he goes, I didn't realize that it was going to go on this long and this bad. And, now you got people wanting to defund the police. Okay, well, who do you call when your house is getting robbed? Who do you call, when somebody's trying to steal your car? That's what I want to know. And you're going to have a lot of people taking the law into their own hands. There was a sheriff in Lakeland, Florida, and he held a news conference. If you guys could see it on YouTube, I don't know if he was a sheriff or what he was, but he was pretty high ranking. And he said, for the looters and rioters that think you're going to take this into our neighborhoods, just remember one thing. Our citizens like guns, and I am encouraging them to use them if you go to do them harm. It can't be any more plainer than that. So, I just don't understand what looting and rioting, how that's going to change, the issues at hand. I really don't. And defunding the police is the most moronic fucking thing in the world. It just is. I'm sorry. It just is. It's the most moronic thing in the world. It's not going to change nothing. Which brings me to um, the issue of statues and the Confederate flag. Now, I'm from New Jersey, as you guys all know. Um, and I didn't grow up with the Confederate flag. You know, uh, for my history, for me, being a Northerner, it doesn't affect me as much as the people from down south. But in my opinion, and that's all these issues are that I'm talking about, is my opinion. I don't see how a flag that's been around for generations should affect anything right now. And it's only going to symbolize hate if you let it symbolize hate, just like the statues. Those statues that people have been ripping down, they did this like 2 years ago, too, at college campuses. Those statues have been around for generations, okay? Martin Luther King got shot. Those statues were up. All the way from that and before that to Rodney King, to Eric Gardner, to, now George Floyd. Those statues do not create the problem. It's people that look at those statues and get themselves into a tizzy because, oh, look at that. That represents hate. We should take that down. And I'm going to start a civil unrest because of it. No, there's an old saying, and people have to abide by it. Those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. And the reason why those flags, statues are up is to remind us of a period in history that we can never repeat again. And ripping down a statue is not going to change anybody. If people are going to hate, they're going to hate regardless of if there's a statue up or not, if there's a flag waving or not. Me, I'm not a big NASCAR fan. I mean, I like it, I watch it. I mean, but I'm not like, die hard, I should say. But I lost a lot of respect for NASCAR because they said they're removing the flags that have been up for generations at the racetracks because it's going to upset people. You know, guess what? When people say Black Lives Matter, and I know I'm going to catch shit for this, that upsets me. Why can't it be all lives matter? Why is it just a black life that matters? How about a white life? How about a brown life? How about an Asian life? How about, a Middle Eastern life? All lives matter, man. All lives matter, not just black lives. Like they have black entertainment television. If I put up white entertainment television, we'd be crucified for it. Okay, but it's okay that we cater to the black people, and that's fine. They want their own channel. That's fine. I don't have an issue with it. But why have an issue with me when I want, you know, things from my culture? Like I'm 3/4 Italian. If I want an Italian only television, I'm a racist, and that's not fair to me. You know, um, and I feel like we got to tiptoe. Okay, the woman's telling me she's pulling out of here. So let me see. I'm sorry, guys. This woman's motion that she's pulling out. Thank you. Um, but why should I have to hide what I like, what I like in my culture, or why should I have to, you know, tiptoe around somebody else when they're not tiptoeing around me? Nor would I ask them to tiptoe around me. I'm not asking anyone to tiptoe around me. I mean, you have your likes, you have your dislikes, and I get that. But you have to understand something. Statues, whether they're up or down, they're not going to change anything. Same thing with flags. They're not going to change anything. Now, I know a lot of people say, oh, well, Bill, you're racist. You hate people. Well, that's coming from some fat slob in Sarasota, considered a source. Because, like I said, and I'm not trying to, get off topic, but my cousin's married to a black woman, very nice woman. My wife's dark-skinned Filipina, and my ex-wife is Spanish. And my stepfather is Greek. So if there's anyone who is not racial, I'm it. Okay? But by the same token, I am not going to tiptoe around people. If it hurts their feelings, that's their problem. I don't expect them to tiptoe around me and my likes and dislikes. Okay? And I feel that's what we're doing here. We have to tiptoe around. It's like we almost have to be embarrassed, some people, because we're white. And that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. You know? And that's all I can really say. I mean, I don't understand the ripping down of statues and flags, and I don't get it. How is that going to change anything? You could rip down every statue from here to Kingdom Come, right? If a cop's going to be a jerk off and be racial, he's going to be a jerk off whether those statues are up or not, whether that flag is waving or not. They're going to do what they want to do. Okay, if they have that hatred in them, a statue or a flag isn't gonna fucking do nothing. All right, it ain't gonna matter to them. Okay, if anything, it'll probably piss them off even more. You know, so that's all I could say. And to the rioters and looters, I think you guys are pieces of shit, and you are ruining it for the people that are doing a peaceful protest. Okay, I'm not saying people shouldn't protest. You should, but you shouldn't be stealing people's shit and breaking into their stores and vandalizing their stores and shit. What is that fucking solving? That's showing your ignorance. That's what that's showing. And that's all I got to say. And I hope for some people this answers the question of how I feel about the current state of affairs here in America. Because you want to know what? This ain't the U.S. that I love. I'll tell you that. And one side note here, I will always stand for the national anthem, which I'm just going to touch on this briefly. You don't have to agree with what the national anthem stands for. You don't have to like it, but you got to respect it. You got to respect it. Okay? When I went to Peru, they had some kind of military day and they played their national anthem. I don't know what was being played. I don't know what the song meant, but I stood as a means of respect. Okay? I stood as a means of respect. And that's what's lost here. People do not have respect. Okay? And that's where I think this generation is lost. And I hope we can regain it. But I know in my day, and I'm not trying to sound like another YouTuber, believe me, but in my day when I played football, okay, and I played many different levels of football, you stood for the national anthem. You didn't fucking kneel or sit. You had your hat off or your helmet off and you stood, okay? And that's it. So that's all I got to say. I hope you guys find this enlightening and hopefully you'll get a better perspective of where I stand on shit. Adios.